We are in our first week of learning. Woohoo! I'm so glad to see you all. And guess what else we're going to do today? We're going to talk about high to low. Everybody, for this activity, we are going to do handy dandy. And if you don't know handy dandy, it's this neat little chant like this that comes with a game. But let's start with learning the chant. It goes like this. Handy dandy riddly row, which hand do you pick? High or low? That's it. Not much at all. So I'll go over that a couple more times, but before you do anything, you're going to need a couple of things. So I want you to get a piece of paper, something to write with, and 5 things. It can be 5 magnets, 5 rocks, 5 racing cars, 5 Legos. I have 5 Legos. And I want you to come back. Now you're going to have to pause the video to get those things. So when you get those things, come on back, and then I want you to draw this. All right, pause the video. Okay, so let's learn that chant again. It goes like this. Handy dandy riddly row, which hand do you pick, high or low? You see how I have one hand that's high and another hand that's low. I am going to have something in my hand. I'm either going to have it in the high hand or in the low hand, and you're not going to know which one it's in. So guess what you have to do? You have to decide before we do it, before I sing, you have to decide if it's going to be high or low. And then when I sing, if you get it right, you put it in your column. If you get it wrong, you put it in your column, and that's where you need your toys. So if you get it right, you're going to put it in your column. And if you get it wrong, you put it in mine. And we're going to do that 5 times. So you should have 2 columns, one with me, one with you, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. If you need a minute, you can pause your video. Okay, so now let's play the game. Here we go. Let me get my item. All right. Let's see if you can guess it. All right, try to guess if it's going to be high or low. Okay, here we go. Handy dandy riddly row, which hand do you pick, high or low? All right, did you make your guess? All right, let's see. Is it high? Nope. Is it low? It sure is. Okay, mark which one you got. If you got it right, you put it in your column. If you got it wrong, you put it in my column. All right, let's do that again. 4 more times. All right, make your prediction. Here we go. Handy dandy riddly row, which hand do you pick, high or low? All right, now you have to decide which one you get. Is it going to be high or low? Okay, I'm going to start with my high hand like I did last time. High! That's where it is. If you picked high, you can put it in your column. If you picked low, put it in mine. I bet you can start saying this with me. And when I get to the word high, I want you to use your high voice. And when you get to low, I want you to use your low voice. Here we go. We have 3 more times. Here. Handy dandy riddly row, which hand do you pick, high or low? All right, make your choice. Which one is it going to be, high or low? Here we go. High. Oh, I had it in the high hand. Okay, Did you get it right? If you did, put it in your column. If you got it wrong, put it in mine. Okay, now let's do it again. Handy dandy riddly row. Which hand did you pick? High or low? Let's see. High? Nope. It was low. All right, let's do it again. Handy dandy riddly row. Which hand did you pick? High or low? Make your pick. All right, let's see. High. It's the high one, not the low one. This is the story of the black ant and the red ant. The black ant went to the black ant school. And one day his teacher told him that he needed to get something from the red ant over at the red ant school. So the black ant went out the door, and then he went down the steps, boop, 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 boop. And then he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. And then he went up the steps, boop, 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 and knocked on the door. Well, the red ant was in the middle of a class, so she couldn't come to the door. So the black ant said, "Okay, I'll just talk to you later." And the black ant went down the steps, flop, 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 and he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and back up to his school. Now the red ant, she finished her class, and she knew that her friend, the black ant, had been sent to get something from her. So she got the book he needed, and she went to the front door and went out so that she could go take it to her. And so she went down the steps, bum, 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 bum. And then she went up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill, and then went up the steps. And she knocked on the door. Well, it turns out that the black ant was in a class and he couldn't meet the red ant. So she had to go back to her school, and she went bum, 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 bum. Up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill, and back up to her school. Both of them had class after that, but then it was the end of the day, so they thought, well, why don't we meet and go? I can exchange now. So they both went bum, bum, down the steps, and they went up the hill and down the hill and up, and they met at the top of the middle hill. And the red ant gave the black ant his book, and they said goodbye and left, and they went down the hill and up the hill and down the hill and back up to their school. And that is the end of the black ant and the red ant story. Next activity, we are going to do a tongue twister. A tongue twister is really important to help you really make sure you're saying all of those letters very clearly. We call that enunciate. So we want to make sure that all of our letters are very clear. Here is the tongue twister. Chester Cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. You think you can say that with me? Try with me. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. One more time. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Not so tough, right? Maybe we could make it a little faster. So let's try faster. Here we go. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Good job. Now we're going to add something though. So in that part at the very end where there's no sound, there's a rest, you're going to clap like this. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Okay, let's do that with me. We're going to do it 3 times. Here we go. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Great. Now let's speed it up. Here we go. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. How'd you do? All right, now I'm going to add an ostinato. All right, so an ostinato is something that repeats over and over and over and over again that goes with the song or the chant. So you are going to do the ostinato too. We're going to start like this. We're going to pat our knees, then clap, then snap, then clap. Pat, clap, snap, clap. Okay? So let's start our ostinato, and then we're going to say our tongue twister 2 times. Here we go. Pat, clap, snap, clap. Pat, clap, snap, clap. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Again. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Now, if you can't snap, that's okay. Nobody's going to know. Just pretend. Okay, now we're going to speed it up and see how you do. Here we go. We're going to do the ostinato first, and then we're going to say the tongue twister twice. Here we go. Pat, clap, snap. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. How'd you do? Good. Let's go faster. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Let's go faster. Ready, go. Chester cheetah goes to cheddar cheese. Chester cheetah chews a chunk of cheap cheddar cheese. Oh, good job. Okay, everyone, that's all we've got for today. So what I want you to do is I want you to go around and see if you can get anyone else to do that tongue twister with you, and maybe play that handy dandy game with other people and see how well they do. And maybe you can even let me know how it all went. That would be a lot of fun. All right, until I see you next time. Bye-bye.